What if I told you the biggest thing holding you back isn't your job, your past, or even other people, but something you're holding on to right now? And here's the twist. You probably don't even realize you're holding it. Let's talk about the acts of non-attachment and how it can literally change the way you see life, death, and everything in between. Think about this. Every year, millions of people celebrate Jesus Christ rising from the dead on Easter. It's one of the most powerful stories ever told. Good Friday, he's crucified. Then silence, darkness, a tomb, and boom, the tomb breaks open. That's the real meaning behind the Easter egg, by the way. It's not just chocolate and candy, it's a symbol, something closed, suddenly opening, life bursting out of what looked like the end, and the message, death is not the end. That idea isn't just Christian, it shows up everywhere, in Hinduism, Buddhism, even ancient philosophies. Every major religion whispers the same thing. You are more than this body, more than this moment, more than this life. Even Swami Vivekananda used to quote from the Upanishads, "Know that and you go beyond death." Sounds deep, right? But here's the problem. If we're already immortal, why does life still feel so stressful, messy, and honestly exhausting? Let's make it real. You ever had a bad day where everything goes wrong? You spill coffee. Your boss emails you, "We need to talk." Your crush leaves you on read. And suddenly you're like, yep, this is it. Life is over. Now imagine that feeling, but stretched across lifetimes. That's actually how many Eastern philosophies describe existence. A loop, born, live, die, repeat over and over. Kind of like hitting snooze on an alarm forever. Not exactly good news. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's this powerful idea. Life is like a giant tree, but not a normal tree. An upside down tree. Its roots are above, its branches spread below. It represents everything, your desires, fears, attachments, habits, relationships, all tangled together. And here's the crazy part. You're stuck in that tree, climbing, falling, reaching, grabbing, again and again. So how do you get out? You don't climb harder, you don't collect more, you don't fix every branch, you cut the tree. The Gita says, use the axe of non-attachment, not a sword, not a hammer, an axe. Because this isn't delicate work, this is deep cutting. Now before you panic, non-attachment doesn't mean you stop loving people. It doesn't mean you quit your job, move to a mountain, and ignore texts forever. Although let's be honest, that sounds tempting on some Mondays. Non-attachment means this: you stop depending on things for your happiness. Let me give you a simple example. Two people post a photo online. One gets 10 likes, one gets 1,000 likes. If your happiness depends on those likes, you're trapped. If it doesn't, you're free. Same situation, totally different experience. That's the difference between attachment and non-attachment. Attachment says, I need this to feel okay. Non-attachment says, I enjoy this, but I'll still be okay without it. And this applies to everything. Money, relationships, success, even your identity. Because here's the truth most people don't want to hear. The more tightly you hold something, the more power it has over you. Think about relationships. Ever notice how the more you chase someone, the more they pull away? And the moment you let go a little, they come closer? It's not magic, it's energy. Desperation pushes, peace attracts. Now zoom out. This whole cycle of life, birth, death, repeat, is powered by attachment. Desire pulls you back in. Fear keeps you stuck. Habits keep you looping. It's like binge watching a show you don't even like anymore, but you just can't stop. So the acts of non-attachment, it cuts that loop. Not by destroying life, but by freeing you from needing it to go a certain way. And here's where it connects back to that Easter story. When Jesus Christ rises from the tomb, it's not just about coming back to life. It's about breaking out of fear, out of limitation, out of death itself. The tomb opens, just like the shell of an egg. Something trapped becomes free. That's the real message. Not just you live forever, but you don't have to stay stuck. Because let's be honest, most people aren't afraid of dying. They're afraid of losing people, losing status, losing control. But what if you didn't cling so tightly? What if you could experience life fully without being owned by it? That's freedom, not running away, not giving up, but standing in the middle of life and saying, I'm here, I care, I try, but I'm not trapped. And here's the best part. You don't need to wait for some big spiritual moment. You can start small. Next time something doesn't go your way, pause. Instead of reacting, Just notice. Instead of clinging, loosen your grip. That tiny shift, that's the first swing of the axe. And over time, cut by cut, you'll realize something powerful. You were never the tree. You were never the trap. You were always the one holding the axe. So the real question is, what are you still holding on to? That's holding you back. Let's go deeper, because this is where it gets really interesting. Imagine this. You finally get what you wanted. The job, the relationship, the money, the recognition. For a moment, it feels amazing. And then what happens? You start worrying. What if I lose this? What if it doesn't last? What if something better comes along, or worse, something goes wrong? That's the hidden trap. Getting what you want doesn't end attachment. It often strengthens it. Think about buying a brand new phone. Day one, you treat it like a baby. No scratches, clean screen, perfect case. 2 months later, you drop it. You don't even care as much anymore. What changed? Not the phone. That's how the mind works. It grabs, it clings, then it gets used to things, then it wants more, and the cycle continues. This is exactly what the Bhagavad Gita was pointing at with that upside-down tree. It's not just life out there. It's your inner world, your cravings, your fears, your I need this to be okay thoughts. That's what keeps the tree alive. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of us don't actually want freedom. We just want better attachments, a better job, a better partner, a better life. Same pattern, just upgraded. But non-attachment flips the game. Instead of asking, how do I get everything I want? It asks, why do I need all this to feel complete? That question, that's dangerous, because if you answer it honestly, things start to shift. Let's talk about control. People love control. We plan everything, career paths, relationships, even conversations. You ever rehearse an argument in your head? Like you're in the shower winning debates that haven't even happened yet? Yeah, that's attachment to control. But life doesn't follow scripts. It improvises. And when reality doesn't match your expectations, stress shows up. Not because life is wrong, but because your attachment says it should be different. Non-attachment doesn't mean you stop planning. It means you stop demanding. You do your best, but you don't break when things go off track. There's a line from the Gita that hits hard. Do your work, but don't cling to the result. That's it. Simple, but incredibly difficult. Because we've been trained the opposite way. You are your results. You are your success. You are what people think about you. So naturally, we attach our identity to outcomes. If things go well, we feel worthy. If things fail, we feel like failures. But think about it. If a basketball player misses a shot, do they stop being a player? No, it's just a shot. Same with life. Events happen, but we turn them into identity. Non-attachment cuts that link. It says you can experience something without becoming it. Now let's go even deeper. Fear. At the root of most attachment is fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of not being enough. Fear of losing meaning. That's why letting go feels scary, because it feels like losing something important. But here's the twist. You're not losing the thing. You're losing the illusion that you needed it. And that illusion, that's the real prison. This is where the Easter story connects again. When Jesus Christ walks out of the tomb, it's not just a miracle, it's a message. You are not confined, not by death, not by fear, not by the world you think you're stuck in. And in the same way, when you let go of attachment, you step out of your own mental tomb, the one built from expectations, fears, and constant wanting. Now let's be practical. How do you actually live this? Because it sounds great until real life hits. Start with awareness. Notice what triggers you. Is it being ignored, rejected, losing control? That's your attachment showing itself. Then question it. Ask, do I really need this to be okay? Not intellectually, honestly. Then practice small detachment, not big dramatic changes, small ones. Don't check your phone immediately. Let someone disagree with you without reacting. Accept a delay without frustration. These tiny moments, they build freedom. And slowly something changes. You still enjoy life. You still love people, you still chase goals, but there's space now. You're not suffocating inside your own expectations. You become lighter, calmer, stronger. And here's the irony. When you stop clinging so tightly, life actually feels better. Not because everything goes your way, but because you're no longer shaken when it doesn't. That's real power, not controlling life, but not being controlled by it. So next time you feel stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, don't just ask, what's wrong? Ask, what am I attached to right now? Because that's where the axe needs to fall. And once you start cutting, you'll realize something surprising. You're not losing your life, you're finally gaining it. Let's go even further, because this is where most people stop, right before things actually start to change. Here's something nobody tells you. Attachment doesn't always look like obsession. Sometimes it looks like love. Sometimes it looks like ambition. Sometimes it even looks like being a good person. Let me explain. You help someone. You care about them. You support them. Sounds good, right? But deep down, there's a quiet expectation. They should appreciate me. They should treat me the same way. They shouldn't hurt me after all I've done. And when that doesn't happen, pain. Not because you cared, but because you were attached to a result. This is where things get real, because now it's not just about letting go of things, it's about letting go of expectations. And expectations are sneaky. They don't announce themselves. They sit quietly in your mind like, this is how things should go. But life doesn't care about should. Life just happens. You ever plan a perfect day? You wake up motivated. You have a schedule. You're ready. Then suddenly, traffic, bad mood, someone cancels, something breaks, and the whole day feels ruined. But here's the question. Was the day actually bad, or did it just not match your expectation? That gap between expectation and reality, that's where suffering lives. And the bigger the expectation, the bigger the disappointment. This is why non-attachment is so powerful. It closes that gap, not by lowering your standards, but by loosening your grip. You still plan, you still hope, you still try, but you don't mentally collapse when things go differently. Think of it like holding sand. Clench your fist tightly. What happens? It slips out faster. Hold it gently. It stays. That's how life works too. Now let's talk about identity. This one hits deep. Most people don't just attach to things. They attach to who they think they are. I'm the strong one. I'm the smart one. I'm the one who always gets it right. Sounds harmless until life challenges that identity. You fail. You get rejected. You make a mistake, and suddenly it feels like I'm not enough. But here's the truth. You're not your labels. You're not your roles. You're not even your past. Those are just stories. And attachment to those stories, that's what creates pressure. Non-attachment doesn't erase who you are. It frees you from being stuck in one version of yourself. It allows you to grow, to change, to fail without breaking. Now let's zoom out again, even bigger. Why does any of this matter? Why does non-attachment matter in the context of life and death? Because attachment is what makes endings feel like destruction. Non-attachment turns endings into transitions. Think about it. When something ends, a job, a relationship, a phase of life, attachment says, this shouldn't be happening. Non-attachment says, this is part of the process. Same event, different experience. This is what spiritual traditions have been pointing at forever. Whether it's the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, the wisdom of the Upanishads, or the message behind Jesus Christ rising again, they're all pointing to the same shift. You are not limited to what comes and goes. And once you truly see that, something inside you relaxes. You stop chasing every high. You stop fearing every low. You stop needing life to constantly prove something to you. And for the first time, you experience it fully. Because here's the paradox. Attachment makes you hold tighter, but experience less. Non-attachment makes you hold lighter, but feel more. You enjoy moments without trying to freeze them. You love people without trying to control them. You live life without constantly fearing its end. And that is what freedom actually feels like. Not escaping life, not avoiding pain, but moving through it without being chained to it. So if you take one thing from all of this, let it be this. You don't need to cut yourself off from the world. You just need to cut the illusion that you depend on it to be okay. That's the real axe. Not physical, mental. And every time you choose peace over control, acceptance over resistance, presence over fear, you swing it. And slowly that heavy tangled tree starts to fall. And when it does, you don't lose your life. You finally see it clearly for the first time. All right, now we reach the part most people avoid. Because it sounds simple to say, let go. But when life hits hard, That's when you realize how deep your attachments really are. Let's talk about pain. Not small annoyances, real pain. Loss, rejection, failure, heartbreak, the kind that keeps you up at night. In those moments, non-attachment can feel almost impossible. You're not thinking about philosophy. You're thinking, why is this happening to me? And that question right there, that's attachment speaking. Not because it's wrong to feel pain, but because it assumes life shouldn't hurt this way. But what if pain is not the enemy? What if it's actually showing you exactly where you're attached? Think about it. You don't feel pain over things you don't care about. You don't lose sleep over a stranger's opinion. You don't feel heartbroken over something that meant nothing. Pain points to value, but attachment turns that value into dependency. So when something breaks, it doesn't just hurt, it shakes your sense of self. That's why heartbreak feels so intense. It's not just losing a person, it's losing the future you imagined with them. All those what-if moments, gone, and your mind keeps replaying them like a broken loop. But here's the shift. Non-attachment doesn't say, don't care. It says care without losing yourself. That's a completely different way of living. Let's make it real again. Imagine you're watching your favorite show. You love the characters, you're invested. Then suddenly, your favorite character dies. You feel sad, maybe even shocked. But you don't lose yourself completely. Why? Because deep down you know it's part of the story. Now imagine seeing your life the same way, not cold, not distant, but aware. Moments come, moments go, people enter, people leave, highs rise, lows fall. And instead of saying, this must stay forever, you start to see, this is here right now. That one shift changes everything. This is what many spiritual teachings try to express, whether it's the cycle of rebirth in the Bhagavad Gita, the wisdom of the Upanishads, or the resurrection story of Jesus Christ. They all point to something beyond temporary moments, something stable, something unshaken. And here's the surprising part. You don't find that by escaping life. You find it by changing how you relate to it. Now let's talk about something subtle, comparison. You scroll social media. Everyone looks happy, successful, perfect. And suddenly, your life feels smaller. That feeling? Attachment again. Attachment to how life should look. But here's the truth nobody posts. Everyone is struggling with something. Everyone is figuring things out. Everyone is dealing with their own invisible battles. When you let go of comparison, you don't just feel better, you feel freer. Because now you're not living someone else's version of life, you're actually living yours. And that brings us to something powerful. Gratitude. Not the forced kind, not the I should be grateful kind, but real gratitude. It only shows up naturally when attachment starts to loosen. Because when you're not constantly chasing more, you start noticing what's already here. A quiet moment, a simple laugh, a peaceful breath. Things that were always there, but hidden under constant wanting. This is where life becomes lighter. Not easier, but lighter. You still face challenges, you still feel emotions, but you don't carry everything like a burden. And slowly, something shifts inside you. You stop asking, how do I control everything? And start asking, how do I experience this fully without clinging? That's a different level of living. And here's the final layer, the one that ties everything together. Non-attachment is not about losing meaning, it's about discovering a deeper one. Because when you're not attached to outcomes, you act from clarity. Not fear, not pressure, not desperation. You love because you want to, not because you need to. You work because it matters to you, not because it defines you. And that kind of life feels different. It feels real. So now, after everything we've explored, let's come back to the simplest question. What are you afraid to lose? Look at that honestly, not to judge yourself, not to force change, just to see it clearly. Because that's where your attachment lives, and that's where your freedom begins. And remember, you don't need to cut everything at once. Just start with one small thing, one reaction, one expectation, one moment of letting go. That's how the process begins, one swing of the axe at a time. All right, now let's go to the deepest layer of this idea, the one that quietly changes everything once you truly see it. You don't actually suffer because things end. You suffer because you thought they wouldn't. Let that sink in for a second. Every disappointment, every heartbreak, every moment of frustration, somewhere inside it, there's a hidden belief. This was supposed to last. But who said? Where did that rule come from? Think about it. Seasons change, people change, feelings change. Even your favorite food from 5 years ago, you probably don't crave it the same way now. Life is constantly moving, but your mind, it tries to freeze things. That's attachment. Trying to make a moving world stay still. And that's why it hurts, because deep down you already know nothing stays the same. This is exactly what teachings like the Bhagavad Gita were pointing toward. Not just life is temporary, but clinging to the temporary creates suffering. So what's the alternative? Do you stop caring? Do you become cold? Do you disconnect from everything? No, that's not freedom. That's avoidance. Real non-attachment is something much more powerful. It's being fully present without trying to possess the moment. Let's make that real. Imagine sitting with someone you love. You're laughing, talking, everything feels right. Attachment says, I wish this could last forever. Non-attachment says, this is beautiful right now. See the difference? One resists time, the other flows with it. And strangely, the second one feels more peaceful, more complete, because you're not fighting reality, you're experiencing it. Now here's something most people miss. Attachment is not just about wanting things to stay, it's also about resisting what is. You don't just cling to good moments, you also push away bad ones. I don't want this to happen. This shouldn't be happening. This is unfair. And again, that resistance creates tension. It's like trying to swim against a strong current. You exhaust yourself without actually changing the direction of the water. Non-attachment doesn't mean you like everything. It means you stop fighting the fact that it's happening. And that one shift saves a huge amount of energy. Because now instead of saying, why is this happening? That you start asking, okay, this is happening. Now what? Quiet power. This is where the idea of the axe becomes even more meaningful, because you're not cutting life itself, you're cutting your resistance to it. You're cutting the illusion that things must go your way. And once that illusion weakens, life feels less like a battle and more like a flow. Now let's go even deeper into something subtle, time. Most people are either stuck in the past or worried about the future. Regret lives in the past. Anxiety lives in the future. Attachment fuels both. I wish things were different back then. I hope things turn out okay later. And because of that, you miss the only place life actually exists right now. Non-attachment brings you back, not by force, but by removing the mental noise. When you're not clinging to what was or stressing about what might be, you naturally land here. And here is where peace lives. This is why so many spiritual traditions emphasize presence. Whether it's meditation, prayer, or reflection, they're all ways of stepping out of attachment to time. Even the story of Jesus Christ rising from the tomb can be seen this way. It's not just about defeating death. It's about stepping beyond the limits of time and fear. Not trapped in what was, not afraid of what's next, free. And that's the deeper promise behind all of this. Not just a better life, but a different way of living. A way where you still care, but you're not consumed. You still act, but you're not pressured. You still love, but you're not afraid to lose. And that last one, that's the hardest. Because loving without attachment feels risky. It feels like you're opening yourself without guarantees. But here's the truth. Attachment doesn't protect love. It limits it. It turns love into control, into fear, into expectation. Non-attachment lets love breathe. It says, I choose you not because I need you, but because I value you. That kind of love, it's lighter, stronger, more real. And finally, let's bring everything together. The acts of non-attachment is not about destroying your world. It's about seeing it clearly. Cutting illusion, cutting fear, cutting the constant need for things to be different. And what remains? Peace, clarity, freedom. Not somewhere far away, not after everything is perfect, right here, in this moment. So the next time life doesn't go your way, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, am I fighting reality or flowing with it? Because that answer is the difference between being stuck in the tree and finally stepping out of it. And once you see that clearly, you won't need to force anything. the grip will loosen on its own. And the axe, it was always in your hands. Now let's go to the level most people never reach. The moment where non-attachment stops being an idea and becomes a way you actually live. Because here's the truth. Understanding this is easy. Living it is where everything changes. You can listen to all of this, nod your head and think, yeah, that makes sense. But then someone ignores your message, and suddenly all that wisdom disappears. Now your mind goes, why are they not replying? Did I do something wrong? Are they losing interest? And just like that, you're pulled right back into the tree. That's the moment that matters. Not when life is calm, but when something triggers you. Because triggers reveal attachment. Let's break that down. If something small ruins your mood, it's not about the thing. It's about what it means to you. Someone cancels plans. One person thinks, okay, no problem. Another thinks, they don't respect me. Same situation. Different attachment, different reaction. So the real work isn't outside. It's inside your interpretation. And this is where awareness becomes your tool. Before the axe comes awareness. You notice, I'm getting upset. Instead of immediately reacting, you pause. That pause, that's power. Because in that tiny gap, you get to choose. Do I react from attachment or respond with clarity? And at first, you won't always get it right. Let's be real. You'll still overthink, still get annoyed, still hold on. That's normal. Non-attachment is not perfection. It's practice. Every time you notice yourself clinging and loosen your grip even a little, you're making progress. Now here's something deeper. Attachment is not just emotional, it's also mental. You don't just attach to people or outcomes, you attach to beliefs. I'm right. This is how things should be. This is who I am. And when someone challenges that, it feels personal. Arguments aren't really about facts, they're about identity. That's why people defend opinions so strongly. Not because they're true, but because they're attached. Non-attachment here doesn't mean you stop having opinions. It means you're open, flexible, willing to see differently. Makes you calmer and smarter. Because now you're not trying to win every moment. You're trying to understand. Let's go even deeper again. Attachment to progress. This one is sneaky. You start working on yourself, meditating, learning, growing, and then you think, I should be better by now. Now you're stressed about not being peaceful enough. That's attachment in disguise. Even your growth can become something you cling to. Non-attachment says growth takes time, let it unfold. No pressure, no force, just steady awareness. Now let's connect this back to the bigger picture. Life, death, and what's beyond. Teachings from the Bhagavad Gita talk about this endless cycle, birth, death, rebirth, and how attachment keeps you moving through it. While the message of Jesus Christ rising again points to something beyond that cycle, a freedom from limitation. Different paths, same direction. Freedom is not about changing the outside world, it's about transforming your relationship with it. And here's where everything clicks. You don't need to wait for life to be perfect to feel at peace. You don't need all the answers to feel okay. You don't need everything to stay to enjoy it fully. That realization, that's the breaking of the shell. Just like that symbol of the Easter egg, something closed cracks open. And what comes out? Not a new life somewhere else, but a new way of living right here. You still wake up, still go to work, still deal with people, still face challenges, but inside there's space, less tension, less fear, less constant what if, and more presence, more clarity, more quiet confidence. Because now, you're not trying to control everything. You're not trying to hold everything together. You're simply living fully. And maybe that's the real meaning behind all of this. Not escaping life, but finally experiencing it without illusion. So next time something pulls at you, a fear, a desire, a strong reaction, don't fight it, don't suppress it, just notice it. And gently ask, is this something I need or something I'm holding on to? That question alone can change everything. Because once you see the attachment, you're already a step outside it. And from there, one small shift at a time, one moment of awareness at a time, one gentle release at a time, the grip loosens, the tree weakens, and you become free.